Hey, Street Talking Other Stuff, Mike Mad Dog Magnati. Thanks for joining us this Monday morning. It's nice to have you. Nice to be here. Listen, did you see the Seahawks game yesterday? Painful, bad officiating. But look, let's be honest. The bad officiating did not cause us to lose that game. I hate to say it, but Green Bay outplayed us. Yes, they did. They did. We can only depend on Russell Wilson for so many miracles, folks. All right, did a good job, but hey, it's just the start of the season next week. But hey, recently, President Trump, he was complaining about his critics. He was saying, it's just not fair. He says, I'm smarter than they are. I went to better schools than they did. I was a better student. I live in a bigger house. I've got a more beautiful wife. I even live in the White House. And then somebody handed Trump a fidget spinner, and he calmed right down. And a lot of white supremacists, 23andMe, Ancestry.com, they're getting real big. A lot of us are checking our ancestral background, our heritage. Interestingly, I'm 19% Hispanic. Really, it's a true story. 29% Italian, 19% Hispanic. It's really true. And a lot of these white supremacists are doing it too. They're finding out that they're part black. And that's really killing them. But you know who it's upsetting even more? Yeah, they're black relatives. And President Trump said that Kim Jong-un's choice not to attack Guam was a wise and a well-reasoned decision. And then he said, one of these days, I'm going to make one of those. And her new book, Hillary Clinton, the new book Hillary's got coming out, she says that Donald Trump just creeped her out. And when Trump heard that, he said, well, still got it. And there's a new beer coming out that contains marijuana. Did you hear about this? Yeah, it actually has THC the way marijuana does. The only problem is the guy who invented it cannot for the life of him remember what the formula was. Okay, Street Talking Other Stuff, Mike Mad Dog Magnati. Look, I've got a real good guest for you today. We've got a political season coming up, and I've got a candidate for a position on the Wenatchee City Council, Ruth Esparza. I'll be interviewing her opponent, Adriana Farnsworth, next week. But at the end of the show, instead of doing your probably worthless opinion, I'm going to be offering a new feature called You Ought to Be Horsewhipped. So stick around with that. Mike Mad Dog Magnati, hey. We'll be right back.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by First Choice Collision Center. Head on down to the NCW Gun Club Saturday, September 16 for Youth Hunting and Fishing Day. Activities include fly tying, firearm safety, habitat conservation, local wildlife education, duck, elk, and turkey calling, and more. The event is free and open to youth ages 6 to 16 years old. The fun is from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information, visit ncwlife.com.
For plumbing, heating, or cooling repair, Patriot will be right there.
Is your home as comfortable as you like? This Lennox dealer can help.
Make your home comfortable with a Lennox system from Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call Patriot today.
Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling will give your home a hug.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Hi, Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. When you think of Alpine Air in Wenatchee, think of professional, friendly customer service for all your heating and cooling needs. Alpine Air partners with Carrier manufacturers of some of the best heating and air conditioning equipment available today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Visit our store in Wenatchee, meet our people, see our shop. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Antique Mall at Cashmere is Trade Dollar Coin's new location. Whether you're in search for coins, currency, gold, or silver, you'll find what you're looking for. From coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, find coins rarely seen from around the world. Whether you're buying or selling or need supplies, Trade Dollar Coins is the place to be. Located in Antique Mall at Cashmere. Open 7 days a week.
Okay, Mike Mad Dog Magnati. Hey, I am very happy to welcome City Council person Ruth Esparza. If I got it right,
Hi,
City
Mike.
Council person.
Yes. City
position
councilwoman,
of
city council member.
city council person. At least I didn't say city council man, you know, and I want to shake hands with you, okay?
Thank you for having me.
Okay, it's very good to have you. Nice that you've been here before.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so appreciate you coming back. But we have an election coming up.
Yes.
Okay.
November.
And is this going to be just a general election, or will there be a primary too? I don't pay that much attention.
Well, the primary just happened
Oh, did
in
it?
August. Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Yes. So
Okay,
on to the general.
Okay. Okay, so look, you've been on the city council for how long now? Tell us just a little bit about yourself, because since the last time you were here, we've actually got about 5 or 6 more viewers than we had before. So, so some people may not be as familiar with you as they might be.
So a little bit about myself.
Yeah.
I like to consider myself practically a Wenatchee native.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is because my family moved into the area when I was 10 years old. I've been here ever since.
Right.
I've seen this community grow into what it is today, with the exception, of course, of 5 years that I moved away so that I can go to college.
Yeah.
After college, I came right back home. So I graduated high school here. You know, my whole family's here. My children are here. So.
And we can honestly say you and your family really exemplify the American dream, because I think it'd be fair to say that, because I did too, came from humble origins, so to speak, but you worked your way up, you went to law school.
Yes.
Right.
So I did graduate from law school, and I attribute that to 2 things. One is, growing up, because we were being raised by a single mother who worked 2 jobs,
Sure.
she actually really exemplified what it is to have really good work ethic.
Right.
And not only that, she went beyond that and she said, you know what? I want you to be a benefit to your community, not a detriment. And for
Sure.
that, you need to work your way up. And so that is one reason why I think, I developed strong work ethics. But also, the other reason why, I went off and succeeded, I really do believe that I am a product of this community, of the heart and soul of the people who live here, who have lived here ever since I was a little girl, because that community came together to help out my family.
Yeah.
And so, in a way, the community was a parent to me.
And
They
see-
parented me.
Yeah, and this wasn't only you.
Yeah, my siblings
you have,
also,
what, you have
yes.
4 siblings, correct?
Well, there's 7 of us.
7, oh,
yes,
wow, okay,
7 of
okay.
us. But all our siblings, my siblings are very grateful. And
Sure.
so that's what we are, grateful.
And they're continuing to be contributing members of the community as well. right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're all professionals.
Cool.
They're hardworking, because God forbid, that we were a detriment, because we'd probably not be sitting here if my mom had anything to do with it.
That's cool. Okay, so how long ago did you first, tell us about your decision to be on city council, running for it, that kind of stuff, how that's
So I knew early on that I wanted to serve my community in more of a grander way than just, donating here, donating there. And again, it goes back to this community really pulling my family out of, the hole we were in, quite frankly. And so I decided to run for office because I want to give back. And I want to give back in a way where I can use my lawyer skills. I'm an attorney full-time, and so I have developed these skills that I think are good to have on city council, such as being able to take information and really critically think about it. And strategize a way to problem solve,
Right.
and be able to do that in a way that's basically thinking on your feet, because a lot of these decisions you have to be quick at making these decisions. Sometimes if you need more time, you need to be outspoken about, hey, this is a more complicated issue. We need more time about it. But on city council, we get our packets with information on Monday.
Right.
And by Thursday, you have to be ready to go and make a decision on these issues that are affecting the city.
Yeah, so Monday you get packets of information for stuff that you've got to discuss at the Thursday night meeting, and you were telling me off camera that How many pages are you have to-
Sometimes it's 300 pages
Really?
that
Okay.
that they throw at you,
Yeah.
and you only have a few days to read them. And these 300 pages, it's not just your average read. It's very complicated read. And difficult to understand at times. So you have to be ready to make the right calls if you don't understand something, and be able to, again, problem solve as you're reading, and making sure you're understanding what you're reading.
And rather than just not coming off with, let me use one of your terms, again, what we talked about off camera, feel-good, knee-jerk reactions to things, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
No, I'm not the type of council member who goes with the feel-good. I want sensible legislation to come out of at least my decisions, as I'm making them.
All right, so what are the qualifications, or what are the things that a person needs to possess to properly serve on the city council? What are the things from your perspective that...
So I
need to
think
see.
you need three things that I can think of right now.
Sure.
The first, I think you have to have a heart for public service.
Okay.
You really want to be there for the right reasons. Because like we were talking, these are complicated issues. Sometimes these are issues having to do with infrastructure and engineering,
Right.
and it can get a little boring, So you really have to have the community in your heart, their best interest in your heart.
Right.
And so, so you need to be able to have a heart for service. The other piece of it, you need to have good listening skills. Because it's so important for a public servant to understand what really matters to the citizens of this city.
Sure.
And finally, like I was just saying, I think you need to have some critical thinking skills,
Okay.
problem-solving skills.
Okay. How about the guts to stand up for a decision when the decision might not be popular? Well, I mean, come on. I mean, there is
No,
issues that the city comes up with that, all of us have to face that aren't exactly, I don't know, popular with the citizenry, but maybe what is actually best for the city.
Yes.
You know?
So everybody has different opinions,
Sure.
and sometimes you have to go with what you believe is in the best interest of the city, and not with, like we were saying, just this, feel-good moment.
Right.
Oh, I'm just going to make my constituents happy. You have to really think about the pros and cons of what your decision is going to, bring about.
Sure.
So I think that having courage to do the right thing. And I'll
Okay.
give you an example of where I was courageous.
Yeah, please. I like hearing about brave women. Come on, let's go for it.
I'm known for that in my family.
Okay.
They know that when I think something is wrong, and I'm going to call people on it. And so, I've actually turned people in my family for doing wrong things.
Really?
Knowing that the whole family is going to jump me.
Yeah.
But I will do it because there is a right and a wrong.
I did that too once a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to. You
Oh,
have
yeah,
to.
you
That's
do,
how my
yeah.
mother taught
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
My mom was very strict, and she believed that there's a right and a wrong. And my gosh, if you're going to do that wrong, you're going to pay for it.
Well, good
And
for
so-
you. Yeah. Then of course people blame you for it when realize I didn't do anything wrong. All I
Yeah.
did was point out what somebody else was doing. Good,
Yeah.
cool.
So I'm not
Great.
afraid to make a decision that is not very popular, and I've made decisions before where I was the only sitting council member saying no, and everybody else said yes. And I'm okay with that because we all have different opinions,
Sure.
and we have to respect each other's opinions.
Okay, so specifically, what role do you think you feel? I mean, as the person you are, for whatever attribute you think is important, what role do you feel you specifically fill on the city council that you will continue to fill?
Well, I think, and not to say that the other council members don't have some of these things that I bring on to
Yeah, but
city
they
council.
ain't here right now, and I'm talking
Yeah,
to you.
I know.
If I wanted to talk to them,
I'm
I'd
just
have them down
clarifying
here.
that. I'm not saying that I'm the one who has these and they don't, because I think we have a very good council right now.
Okay.
But
That's nice of you to say.
But I think, bringing my lawyerly skills, not the lawyerly hat, because these are, my lawyerly hat is different than my counsel hat.
Sure.
But the skills I have, being able to comprehensively read through information, critically think about the information, and strategizing to solve problems. I've been doing that for 12 years now.
Sure.
And so I think that is the most important aspect that I bring to council. And the other aspect of it, is that I'm listening. I'm listening to what the community wants, and I'm taking steps towards how can we go about achieving some of the things that the community wants. And I'll give you an example. Right now, what I've been listening to for several months now, and it started out with Our Valley, Our Future,
Right.
is that people have come to realize that there's not a lot of connection between the city and the different sectors of the community.
Right.
At least the non-traditional sectors of the community that are just non-traditionally connected with the city. Because there are some, such as like the Downtown Association, it's very connected with the city. The Chamber is very connected with the city. But I'm talking more like, schools. The school district is not. The Realtors Association, just to give you some examples of how there is a desire by other sectors of the community who want to get involved, who want to work together with the city. And so I'm listening to that and saying, you're right. But what I'm offering is this. It's like, it's not just the city who's not coming to you. You need to come to the city too, because, we at the city are doing city stuff. And
Right.
for example, the school district, at the school district, they're doing their education stuff. And so we're all busy, we get that, but we need to find time to sit down at a table and round table some of the issues that may be interconnected. Because it's important to the city
Sure.
to make sure that our kids get educated.
Yeah.
Of course, that's part of having a healthy community.
Yeah.
So...
And you mentioned, the rental or the Realtors Association too. There's a real issue now with
the housing.
affordable housing.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah, okay.
So how are we going to sit together and hash these issues out?
Okay. All right, now I got to take a break, Ruth, okay? But hey, we got Ruth Esparza with us today. She sits on position number 2 of the Wenatchee City Council. She's running for that position again in November.
In November.
Is that correct? But we will be right back. I've got some other questions I want to ask her, but hey, we got to take a break. Street Talk and other stuff. Mike Mad Dog Magnati, stick around. We'll be right back.
Folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's blueberry picking season, and King 5 named us the second best destination restaurant in Washington State. So toss the family in the cruiser and get on out to Blueberry Hills for the best down-home scratch country cooking you've had in years. And don't forget our award-winning pies. We're fun, family-friendly, and a delicious destination year-round. We're open every day from 8 to 3, serving breakfast and lunch all day. So come on out to Blueberry Hills.
The 23rd Annual Sangster Motors and BNCW Home Tour and Remodeling Expo is set September 15th through the 17th. They have 10 trend-setting homes by some of the most talented builders around. From entry-level to the premier custom homes, every detail has been covered. You'll find innovative ideas, special design features, dynamic floor plans, and the finest craftsmanship. Plan now to attend the Sangster Motors and Building North Central Washington's Home Tour and Remodeling Expo.
The Dronins have dedicated their lives to the care of seniors. Kashmir Convalescent Center is a licensed nursing facility on Pioneer Avenue. They offer 24-hour registered nursing care and rehab services under one roof. Epladolin Assisted Living is right next door, perfect for the senior for socializing, special activities, and more. Epladolin Assisted Living in Kashmir Convalescent Center, all part of the Senior Care Campus in Kashmir. Call today for availability.
Is this really what we're gonna do on our girls' night out?
We should go to Club Crow. The bar and grill in Kashmir?
Yeah, let's go.
Looking for a fun-filled, friendly hometown atmosphere? Club Crow Bar and Grill in Kashmir is the place to be. Hi, this is Justin. Here at Club Crow, we have full bar and restaurant, live music, a dance floor, pool tables, pull tabs, and live jam sessions the first Sunday of every month. Club Crow in Kashmir, the coolest place in town.
Okay, Street Talk and Other Stuff. I am with Ruth Esparza. She sits on position number 2 for the City Council and is running again in the fall for that position.
Yes.
All right, now let's get politically incorrect, okay? You are a Hispanic female, okay? So how do you feel that that role is important for you to continue to be on the council?
Well,
Or however you feel that that is, you know, how that
first
fits
of all,
in.
I think right now there are 2 females serving on the City Council, me and Linda Harold.
Okay.
And I think it's important. It's always important to have the female perspective.
Yes, it is.
So
it is.
Linda,
Honey, yes, it is. Rosemary, very important to have a female perspective in a man's
So,
life.
Council member Linda Harold and I think, fill that role very well, and we do bring that female perspective. But as a Latina or Hispanic woman on the council, I think there's a benefit to that too, because I do bring that Latino perspective.
Sure.
I do get involved with the Latino community and understand some of the issues that affect that sector of our community. With that said, however, I represent everybody.
Right.
There may be an issue that is in particular favorable by the Latino community that may not necessarily be favorable or in the best interest of the entire community.
Sure.
And so I'm going to look at it from the entire community perspective. I am not going to look at an issue just, because this is going to benefit the Latino community.
Okay.
No way.
Okay.
That's not what my position role is. And if I were to do something like that, I would not be serving my constituents.
Okay, doesn't it take a certain amount of, I don't know, courage to do that because now forgive me, I once had a Mexican gentleman, a cop I worked with, tell me that he hated the term Latino.
Oh.
So what should I be saying? Refer to you as a Latina or refer to you as... Okay.
So here's the way it works.
I'll just call you Ruth, okay?
Yeah. No. You could call me, I am a Mexican,
okay.
Hispanic,
Okay.
Latina woman. Latina is when you don't know if they are, they could be, let's say, from Brazil.
Okay.
That's a Latino.
Right.
But they're not Hispanic. Because they don't speak Spanish.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
So
okay.
if you don't know me,
that helps.
you refer to me as a Latina.
Okay.
If you know that I speak Spanish, then you could refer to me as a Hispanic woman.
Okay.
So we here in Wenatchee, we should use Latino because there's other folks who may be Latino but not necessarily be Hispanic.
Right. See, and I always thought Hispanic covered those folks who were from like Bolivia or, you know.
Yeah, some people don't speak Spanish and they're not Hispanic.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, to get back to it.
Okay.
Okay, so you're not necessarily going to go to the people who would look to you as their specific special constituent and say, I'm going to do everything you want.
No.
Okay,
No,
if you don't think it's good for the city, you're not,
No.
That's what you're saying. Oh, okay,
Exactly.
all right. Yeah. Cool. All right, so where do you see the city, another 5-10 years from now?
Well, right now is a critical time as to where our city's going to be in 5-10 years.
Okay.
Or even farther out into the future. We are looking at housing is a priority to us right now, affordable housing, because everything's going up. People are only making a certain wage. We don't want to throw out our local community because foreigners are coming into the community. And what I mean by foreigners, like
people from California,
from Seattle, California, or other areas, they're jacking up the prices of our homes. So we really do have to deal with that issue.
Okay.
And we also have to deal with our roads. And
sure.
Our roads are okay right now. They're pretty medium in regards to the condition of them. But in the next 2-3 years, it's going to slide downhill, and it's going to downhill fast, according to the projections. And we have to start thinking now as to how we're going to pay for our roads to continue to stay in good condition, in a way that's not going to impact the citizens of Wenatchee in a strong way. That's not going to really hurt their pockets all of a sudden. So we're trying to figure out how to best do it to where we're going to try to minimize the impact.
Okay, real quick, because I got to take a break, but in like 5-10 seconds, why should I vote for you?
Because I have experience.
Okay.
I am a dedicated community member. You know, I've served on many boards throughout my professional career, and I continue to serve in that way. I'm a Rotary member. I've been on United Way for 12 years now. I serve on the Wenatchee Downtown Association board. I serve on the Together for Youth board. I serve on the Chamber of Commerce board. And again, like I said, I've served on other committees and boards. Yes, very involved in the community. And last but not least, I do bring problem-solving skills that are needed on council.
All right, well, we are with Ruth Esparza today. She sits on position number 2, Wenatchee City Council. Running for that again. Ruth, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, but hey, I got something new coming up when we come back, but stick around. Street Talk and other stuff. Mike Mad Dog Magnati coming back with You Probably Ought to Be Horsewhipped. We'll be right back.
So we are live from Studio 2, and I am Dan Koontz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We got news, we got sports, we got weather, we got obscure holiday today in history, birthdays. Tom Potter joins me in studio. How are you? And Rod Cool is my guest today. The expert is Bonnie Orr. We're broadcasting live from Studio 4, from Studio 2, Studio 7 here in downtown Wenatchee. Time for the obscure holiday of the day. Your Dog to Work Day, Beautician's Day, it's National Selfie Day, and in honor of National Selfie Day, I'm going to take a picture of myself.
Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, mornings at 7 o'clock on the NCW Life Channel.
At Works, we believe our purpose is to serve the entire community. So for September, if you're an adult resident of the Wenatchee Valley, we're inviting you to be a Works member at no cost. We call it Everyone's a Member in September. Whether exercise is already a habit or you've decided to make it one, visit either Works location and we'll get your habit started or we'll help you keep it going. We are your workout prescription.
Usually at this section I do something called Your Probably Worthless Opinion, but today I'm doing something new called You Probably Ought to Be Horsewhipped, okay? And this is going to be an occasional feature of the show when circumstances warrant and I think local people need to be taken to task. Now, Friday's Wenatchee World, I'm sure most of you saw this, reported that the family of Mary Hunt, who's a former Douglas County Commissioner, pled guilty to federal firearms violations. The article reported that in return for the Hunt's plea, prosecutors dropped numerous more significant potential charges under which the Hunts were indicted. Hunt family, you ought to be horsewhipped, okay? Your irresponsible, self-aggrandizing, and yes, very illegal behavior is what has given anti-gun folks legitimate ammunition, pardon the pun, against people who are responsible gun owners, who are legal gun dealers. Okay, and what you've done is provide these anti-gun folks additional legitimate information against the rest of the people who are law-abiding and legitimate. You know, your alleged comments, as quoted by the Wenatchee World, Ms. Hunt, that your guns are out the door, no tax, no transfer fees, no paper. I'm sorry, they're not some patriot's expression of shall not be infringed. I'm sorry, it's not. But instead, they're words of somebody who's just scheming to make a fast buck. Okay, let's call it what it is right here. And then the alleged quoted words of your husband, Terry Hunt, they're even worse. The paper said, Mr. Hunt, that when alcohol, tobacco, and firearms agents told you that guns you had sold had ended up at crime scenes and that you couldn't sell firearms outside of the state of Washington, you allegedly told them that it wasn't your problem where the guns ended up. Now, what kind of callous attitude is this? Okay, now, I'll just bet this whole time you're engaged in this activity, you were thinking that you're being Second Amendment patriots. I'm sorry, that's not the case. This attitude is just self-righteous justification for your own desire just to line your own pockets. Now, if I hadn't been a cop for 20 years and hadn't seen this kind of callous feelings for the rights and safety of other people, I'd have problems believing that people had these attitudes. But I'm sorry, I have seen this and I do believe it. Okay, Street Talk and other stuff, Mike Mad Dog Magnati. We'll see you next week.